The following is an AI-based parody created for satire and entertainment purposes. All voices, conversations, and scenarios are artificially generated and do not represent the opinions, actions, or voices of any individuals represented. This content is not meant to confuse or misinform.
What's up, gang? I hope you're ready for a longer and more content-packed episode because we've got some errands to run.
Barry, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay coherent for 2 goddamn hours.
How is that any different than usual? Everyone knows Barack and I carry the content as it is.
It's not going to be a problem for you, Joe. All you got to do is sit back and be a React Andy.
Hey, Commander. It's pretty crazy the people you can run into out here, huh?
The only thing that's crazy is that we ran into Caden and not Ashley, but whatever.
For crying out loud, Donald, she's dead. The corpse has been cold for 2 years now.
I'm pretty sure Ashley's corpse was pretty fucking hot right before it ceased to exist.
He was frontline with you against a Reaper, and I'm the one who gets roped back into saving the galaxy? Did someone switch our files?
Give yourself some more credit, Joker. You were the one to take the killing shot on Sovereign.
The guy with brittle bones is more useful than Caden.
Give Caden a break, he gets migraines.
The tales of Caden's migraines are clearly exaggerated. Just pop some extra strength Tylenol or something.
Falsifying maintenance reports, Mr. Moreau.
Not falsifying, tweaking. I always round up on task times. It makes us look good when we come in under.
Rounding to the nearest number when appropriate is completely valid. That's why I tell people I only got 30 charges, not the exact number.
We should have let Donald play the purgatory mission. It would have been thematically appropriate for him.
Keep talking, Joe. It'll make what I'm going to do to you all the sweeter.
Excuse me?
Donald, goddammit, calm down or you're going to give it away.
What the hell are you two up to? What are you doing?
Nothing, Joe. You want to go talk to Jack?
Hell f***ing yeah, I want to talk to Jack as if you had to ask.
Hey.
Hey, Jack, how are you?
Angry and depressed like she always is.
What are you up to? Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't leave Jack on the ship anymore.
I doubt Joker would appreciate that.
Forget Joker, I doubt ED would appreciate that.
Hey, we stole the Normandy too. It's only fair to let Jack take a crack at it.
Doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
Buzzcut over here is a little too comfortable. Try stealing the Normandy if you want. You'll end up like the clone of Shepard.
Kept the haircut.
I'm guessing the tattoos on her head came after Jack joined the cult then.
No disrespect, but the tattoo on her head kind of looks like a barcode. I wonder if it would scan if you took Jack up to self-checkout.
I was looking for answers. Drugs and sex.
Cults are either a giant suicide pact or a front for drugs, sex, and criminal activity. No in between.
Does this make the crew of the Normandy a cult? We are going on a suicide mission after all.
If the suicide mission doesn't make us a cult, the boatload of sex we have among the crew definitely does.
We have not had a crumb of sex on the Normandy thus far, and that's because of you, Joe.
You must have met some good people, too.
Pretty sure Jack kills people before she can identify if they're good people or not.
Our shepherd is starting to look kind of devious. Are we not going to heal the scars?
No, we're not going to heal the scars. This is how a true renegade is supposed to look.
I'm a bit split on it. On the one hand, the scars look cool right now, but later on, especially in Mass Effect 3, the scars cross from looking cool to butt ugly. And Barton Joe Shepard's good looks need to be maintained.
Military can't be that hard of a target, like Joe said. We stole the Normandy ourselves.
Besides, parades are boring. I helped.
You were a pirate, too?
Nah, no way was Jack out there looking for the One Piece. What do you think her bounty was?
Gotta be at least 300 million with her insane rap sheet of crimes and public disturbance.
You two do know pirates exist in other forms of media, right?
Only one of them is truly peak.
I'm not sure why we're doubting if Jack could destroy a space station. We did see her go through an absolute rampage on Purgatory just last episode. And she was just focused on escaping.
For a while. Outlaw colony. Felt like they were like me. Guess that made us a nice target. Turians think they know something about a scorched earth response.
Okay, all right, I can recognize game when I see it. Not too bad at all, Subject Zero.
I guess if you want to get on Donald's good side, all you need to do is mess with the Turians.
Crash that space station I mentioned into one of their moons and make a new crater? They really liked that moon.
Why would the jellyfish be worried about a moon getting another crater?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say there was probably some kind of Prothean ruin or monument where Jack crashed the space station. The Hanar homeworld is dotted with Prothean ruins, so I'm sure that goes for its moon too.
Hey, Shepard. No one's ever asked me about this shit.
Anytime, Jack, my love.
So fuck you.
Well, f you too then.
That's just how Jack shows her affection.
Shepard.
It's good to see you, Grunt, my boy. How are you settling in?
I was just sitting here thinking.
A Krogan thinking? I guess there's a first time for anything.
Like you got any room to be making jokes about my son's ability to think, you incoherent raisin.
Dead Turian, stripped,
That's an interesting thing to be daydreaming about Grunt.
He's a young boy still discovering his taste. Don't worry, once we get him on the extra net, he'll come to realize there's better sights than a stripped Turian.
As I recall, Grunt does develop a crush on Liara, so I guess he widens his palate, so to speak.
I get it.
Canrum isn't ringing a bell.
Death of Shiagar, female warlord.
Canrum is probably the site of the most notable event in the Krogan Rebellion. After the Genophage is deployed, a female warlord named Shiagur, who managed to maintain her fertility, drew the strongest males to her warband to make a final stand against the Turians. The Turians won and killed her, but as retribution, the males hunted the Turians down for vengeance.
We spinning the block for Warlord Shiagur.
Damn, who knew Krogan males were such simps.
You're the biggest simp to ever sit in the White House, Joe.
And if you care to know, Nakmor Drak and Kesh are descendant from Shiagur.
I hate Turians.
That's my boy Grunt. Those Okeer imprints were good for something after all.
You're encouraging all the worst behavior.
I don't hate Garrus.
That's fine, Grunt. Everyone gets one. Personally, I prefer Adrian Victus. But if Garrus is the one you like, I won't try to dissuade you.
His face off unless he turns on me.
Well, Grunt, Garrus doesn't have too much left of his face for you to rip off anyway.
Too soon, Barack. Garrus ate that rocket like 3 days ago.
It's fine, Garrus likes his scars.
Of course he does. It's about the only thing that makes him look cool.
Anyway, I'm still figuring where I fit, but it made me laugh. Nothing else really on my mind, Shepard.
Now it is time for our first proper trip to the Citadel.
So I'm guessing stopping to pick up Kasumi early wasn't canon.
We're just going to pretend that didn't happen and Kasumi was on the Normandy the entire time, but invisible. We found her going through Shepard's underwear.
It's kind of crazy we're pulling up on the Citadel with a ship that is easily identifiable as Cerberus, and the Citadel fleet isn't completely f***ing us up.
Donald, you did kind of sacrifice the Council and cripple the Citadel fleet in the first game, remember?
Oh, right. The benefits of my decision keep compounding.
I thought it might be nice to come back here and see how it's changed. But
It's a lot smaller, unfortunately.
Same dirty streets, same unrepentant scavengers.
Two of those three things were also found in Omega, and you still stayed there.
Yeah, but at least on Omega, there's no bullshit.
This is exactly why I left.
We really got to get Garrus through this midlife
Can I
crisis.
help you, sir?
It's been a couple of years since I passed through here. Security seems to have tightened a bit.
After the
Can't have tightened that much considering we flew in here on a Cerberus-marked ship and Citadel security isn't here to jump us.
It is also possible to bring Legion here onto the Citadel, despite what this woman says about reducing the risk of Geth infiltration.
Geth do not intentionally infiltrate.
Be alert, be safe.
Thanks for your time.
Next.
Obviously, security has tightened since you were last here.
The Turian here is known as Heron. He has a cut voice line in the game where he tells us that Executor Palin from Mass Effect 1 was killed by the Geth. As mentioned previously, this conflicts with the events of Mass Effect Inquisition, a mini-comic wherein Palin is still alive.
Yes, still alive until Bailey kills him for conspiring against the Council.
Bailey personally believes Palin might have been innocent, but Udina dismisses such claims.
I think you also said he was replaced by that other guy. What was his name? Hulick or something?
Hulick is the composer for the Mass Effect trilogy, Joe. The Turian who replaced Palin in that cut content is Chelik, the Turian who assigned Rita to spy in Korra's den. Most of the squad mates approve of Chelik's appointment, since he allows Shepard and the team to keep their guns since we always get into trouble. Garrus uniquely mentions that Chelik is a safe pick, but not the one he'd have made.
Anonymity is useful on my current mission.
Anonymity isn't going to mean a damn thing when we're walking around showing everyone our face.
I think it's just cooler for us to be walking around while officially being known as dead.
The Ghost of the Milky Way, Commander Shepard, it has a nice ring to it.
And you won't get hassled by the security checkpoints.
Let's stop by and terrorize this poor retail worker.
You could have given her the celebrity endorsement instead.
What Shepard does for the Renegade decision is pretty crazy.
That way. There are many stores on
All right, now I kind of feel bad. Poor lady probably makes like 15 credits an hour and has no benefits.
They should really up the minimum wage on the Citadel.
Because I'm not as well off as you doesn't mean you can hold yourself above.
This is pretty crazy considering we have like 300,000 credits to our name right now, plus we steal from locked safes all the time.
The store discriminates against the poor.
Walking out and yelling that a store discriminates against the poor is crazy work.
Maybe that's what we need to do to get Nintendo to fucking discount their games. Why in the f*** is Breath of the Wild still full price? It came out in 2017, which is before COVID, so that's really like 15 years ago.
Donald, with your money, whether or not a game is full price should barely matter to you.
That's the difference between you and I, Barack. I'm always looking to save where possible. That's why you can't go band for band with me.
Yeah, good luck going band for band with anyone when those legal fees start hitting.
Excuse me.
What?
Look, I know our races aren't...
Wait, isn't this clerk usually pretty cool with humans?
If you save the Council Etarn here has a lot of admiration for Shepard.
There's nothing I can do about
But since we let them die, he's not all that fond of us. By extension, he won't let us give his store an endorsement, but we will still get a discount.
Goddamn you, Donald, see what your decision has done. Now we don't get to hear the super iconic voice line.
Oh, calm down. There's like 2 more stores we can go to where we'll hear what Shepard's favorite place on the Citadel is.
If word gets around.
Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah, it's time for round 2 with the fake news reporter.
I'm not going to swing on Kalisa.
Oh, come on, Barack, you were with me on keeping up with the renegade points.
We can spare a little here and there, and it's much more satisfying to cut Kalisa down on her own news broadcast.
I'm surprised Kalisa is brave enough to face Shepard again after what happened last time.
You got to give Kalisa some points. She's tough as nails. Shepard isn't the only person who can assault her. She can be kicked by a Volus. And most famously, she'll be sent flying by a Krogan.
Health insurance at Westerlund News must be pretty great for Kalisa to take a chance getting laid out by a Krogan.
Also, a little fun fact. In the Shadow Broker Base's video archives, we can see Kalisa embracing and kissing an Asari.
Well, I guess she's not all bad if she respects the beautiful blue beauties herself.
It's fair to say the course of the battle hinged on your words. If true, you told Admiral Hackett to abandon the Destiny.
Come on, she's practically begging for it.
Not going to happen. Let me demonstrate how you properly deal with some pressure from the media.
No out-of-line reactions to Kalisa's disingenuous insinuations this time.
Talk about boring. The majority of players punch her out anyway. Don't take the high road with me.
Unfortunately, we aren't getting the best of these dialogues. If you save the Council and pick the Paragon option, Shepard would list off all of the cruisers the Alliance lost.
Shenyang, Yenden, Jakarta, Cairo, Seoul, Cape Town, Warsaw, and Madrid.
No fucking way.
Sleepy Joe actually remembering more than 2 things at a time. I gotta be dreaming.
I don't even remember all 8 of the ships. The hell is going on, Joe?
It's really not that difficult.
Of course, all the mourner-in-chief over here can remember properly is when a bunch of people die.
Well, color me impressed, Joe. I underestimated you.
Check vid. We get it? Great. Bull rushed on my own show.
Quick, we have to save the poor Quarian.
If I had a nickel for every Quarian on their pilgrimage we needed to help on the Citadel, I'd have 2 nickels, which I know isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice.
This little assignment here is called Citadel, Crime in Progress. The original working title for the mission was You Know What They're Like, likely a reference to the clearly racist assumptions of the Volus officer here.
You're mocking me, Earth Clan. Just because the Vol clan need...
Taking 4 breaths in the middle of a sentence is definitely not helping the mocking situation.
If you happen to bring Tali onto the Citadel before you do this assignment, she'll stick up for her fellow Quarian here, when the Citadel officer refers to her as a vagrant. From Tali's dialogue, we learn that Quarians are left with no choice but to steal, because no one will hire them for work. Tali will argue with the Volus for a bit and say she wants to snatch his suit's olfactory filters so everything smells like trash.
That's a common Tali Zora W if I've ever heard it.
Bit of Bioware to give Tali a personality after she serves as a walking codex entry for the majority of Mass Effect 1.
I like to imagine Tali was just really shy during the events of 1. So she only speaks facts to us and tells us nothing of herself.
That does track with her secretly having a crush on Shepard the entire time.
Tali watching Ashley and Liara fight for Shepard, silently wanting to insert herself into the competition.
Was on hers.
Wow. I didn't know anyone here would do that for one of us.
I mean, she kind of helped us become a Council Spectre. Figure we kind of owed her a bit.
My Omni tool can tell the Quarian doesn't have a chit on her, but she could have stashed it to recover later. You know what Quarians are like.
No, actually, I don't know what Quarians are like. Why don't you elaborate?
See what Bailey wants to do with her.
You say she stole your...
Man, this guy sucks. This is what results from humans filling up Citadel security.
Foundation store. She ran right into me.
How does running India mean she stole your credit chit?
That's how pickpockets work. They bump into you.
This scenario doesn't even make sense. For Leah to reach and take the Volus's credit chit, she'd have to bend down to get into his pockets.
Clanless Quarians, thieves, all of them.
Are you sure you didn't leave your chit at the Certa Foundation?
Of course not. You think I'd make a mistake like that?
I'll bet you 5,000 credits you did make a mistake like that.
That chit stayed in my pocket.
Good day, citizen.
Is this not the same lady we terrorized earlier?
That other beautiful blue beauty had more of a purple hue to her skin. This one is more of a true blue.
Donald is over here organizing Asari by the HTML color code of their skin.
We're about to give an endorsement to this store, and then we're going to go right next door and give the same endorsement to the next one.
Well, if there's any company in Mass Effect that deserves an endorsement from Barton Joe Shepard, it's the Certa Foundation. It's responsible for eliminating many genetic diseases endemic to humans, And it even created Medigel, which is technically illegal under council law.
Why the hell would Medigel be illegal? It's literally the backbone of first aid in this universe. It would be like banning Band-Aids.
And this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
He said the thing.
My favorite place on the Citadel is Cora's Den. Why don't we go there?
Cora's Den never reopened after the Battle of the Citadel and was replaced with the Dark Star Lounge.
And I never go into that place, if I'm being honest.
Not a lot happens in the lounge. There's a side quest involving trying to find out if there's some fish in the Presidium Lake. There's also a cut assignment called Citadel Mysterious Stranger, where Commander Shepard helps an Asari dancer named Nara Silafaz try to find a human she likes, a man known as Accio. The man turns out to be a member of the Terra Firma party, and it's up to you if you want to expose the man's political leanings to Nara or not.
Oh, yes. He bought some environmental system drivers, then left without his chip.
Now, I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I do vaguely remember that Volla's saying he didn't buy anything at this store, and his credit chit didn't leave his pocket.
Stupid-ass Volas. All the brains must have gone to their rotund bellies and not their heads.
We're talking shop with the store owner.
Besides the most obvious point-and-go nav interfaces, anyway.
You wouldn't believe how often I hear, why is the ship...
Look at the Turian nodding his head like the NPC he is.
Shepard's pretty good at small talk, gotta admit.
Any interest in an endorsement from the human who defeated Saren?
He should be like, didn't I hear you give the same endorsement to the business across the street?
Just don't acknowledge it when you hear the exact same recording play every time someone walks into the Serta Foundation store.
Just speaking to my console here.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Hopefully the Serta Foundation lady didn't hear us say that.
Hey, she should be glad we didn't accuse her of classism like the other Asari.
You forgot your credit chit at Saronis Applications.
Bro has worse memory than Joe does. How did he forget he did buy something at the Sarona store?
I don't think he forgot. I think Cortun is just a fucking liar.
I guess Garrus was right about the Citadel not being any better than Omega. You come here and you have an annoying Volas and Citadel security hassling you. You go to Omega and an Elcor tries to squeeze you out of the market.
Shepard kneeling down to speak to the Volas like he's a small child is the funniest thing ever.
Cortun should be glad we don't kick him all the way to another Citadel ward arm like the beach ball he is.
And you throw in a threat to arrest her for vagrancy?
How about if I run you in for obstruction of justice?
The only reason you're even in uniform right now is because Shepard put humanity on the map. I own you, little bro.
Yeah, that's right. Go file some paperwork or something.
Can't help but notice Cortun isn't going to the Saronis application store to get his credit chit.
He's about dumb as a brick.
Maybe we should go back and collect it ourselves.
Now you're using your head, Joe.
Will we ever see her again?
No, at least not in the actual Mass Effect 3 game, but in the Expanded Galaxy mod, you'll be able to hire Leah to work with us in the Normandy as an additional engineer.
Gotta have unreal respect for modders for doing God's work.
Anderson got that council fit on him.
One of the good things about Donald letting the council die is we get to not hear Sparatus say, "Ah yes, Reapers," with air quotes.
I swear I've been wanting to take his fingers and bend them backwards so they match his knees.
I'm glad you came, though I was hoping the rest of the council would be here for this meeting.
So there's supposed to be an all-human council here, right?
Hard to say. The opening text of Mass Effect 2 states outright that the council has become human-led, but our discussion with Anderson here seems to imply that the aliens got their counselors back in charge at some point.
I went to the trouble of sacrificing the council so humanity could take control, and it didn't even last more than 2 years?
Like I've said time and again, the idea of an all-human council, while desirable, makes absolutely no goddamn sense. The other Citadel races would simply say, yeah, no, and then send their replacement counselors over.
If anything, letting the Destiny Ascension be destroyed should have made the aliens do whatever it took to keep humanity from joining the Council. It would be like if some new country formed and killed all the members of UN Security Council just so they could join it.
Man, you nerds are no fun. Who cares if it's not realistic? It would have been an interesting development in the world building.
Concerns. Rumors that you're working with Cerberus haven't helped. What are you doing out there?
Don't worry, Anderson, all of this will pay off in about 6 months when we bring you a brand new Normandy.
And when we start killing all the elusive man's guys.
But they went out to the Terminus systems to get away from the Alliance. We can't protect them, but you can.
As usual, we can always rely on Anderson to trust the process.
Anderson believes in us like he has investments in Shepard stock.
Pretty reliable investment, to be fair. Can't think of a time so far where Shepard fails to do something.
Well, there's that time with Kai Leng.
That one doesn't count.
There's so little data. They've always seemed like a fringe threat.
I don't know, man. I'd have been more worried about the mysterious aliens that go around buying live specimens in exchange for technology no other race has access to.
The others have spent the past 2 years convincing themselves the Reapers don't exist.
How in the f can they possibly gaslight themselves into pretending the Reapers don't exist?
Because the aliens are dumb as hell, like I keep telling you.
The Citadel DLC would have us believe the Council did believe in the Reapers, but just fake not believing in them.
The VI in Ilos shut itself down. You're the only one who spoke to it.
Oh gosh, if only there were some way for us to save the words Vigil said to us in some kind of audio format that we could take to the council and play for them.
It's not like everyone in this universe doesn't have computerized devices grafted into their arms that can be used to record audio. We totally didn't have a central character do that exact thing in the beginning of Mass Effect 1, serving as a pivotal moment in the game's narrative.
In the next Mass Effect game, we just need to take any counselor and strap them to our Krogan squad mate. We need them to literally see every single thing that occurs so they can't pull this BS anymore.
All I've got is a title if you want it. I can reinstate your Spectre status.
Does anything even really change if you deny your Spectre status?
Not really. Some characters like Vasir will point it out if you didn't get your status reinstated. It's worth pointing out that you won't get this option at all if you kill the council and select Udina as counselor.
Damn, Udina really sucks. Even the original council are willing to give you back Spectre status as a show of good faith and indirect support.
Just goes to show how much of a snake that worm is. All the more reason to not select him as counselor, even if Anderson doesn't like the job.
None of this matters, though. Shepard will be reinstated as a Spectre early on in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, don't worry, Anderson. We won't do anything crazy like blowing up a mass relay.
Oh God, speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Don't mind us, Udina. Go ahead, talk all the shit you want.
What are you doing here?
We're here to see Anderson knock your lights out again. Better watch out. I'm sure he's got a lot of pent-up anger in him from dealing with the council.
I didn't expect to see you back on the Citadel. I hope you didn't do anything foolish, Counselor.
You're talking kind of crazy for a guy who's got the least authority in the room, Udina.
Political ramifications.
I don't answer to you, Udina. Why don't you go to your office and think about that for a while?
Anderson sending Udina to his room got to be one of the funniest things in the trilogy.
To both of you.
I'm surprised no one can tell Sovereign isn't Geth technology. Didn't they examine the wreckage?
You know, it's a good thing the parts of Sovereign that rained down everywhere didn't indoctrinate every person on the Presidium.
I guess once you shatter a Reaper into a million pieces, it no longer works, which was a lucky break, all things considered.
Not gonna lie, showing us the rest of the Presidium and not letting us explore it kind of hurts my soul a little bit.
I'm with you there, Donald. What a massive downgrade the Citadel is now.
I'd love to pay a visit to the consort to see if she has any other side quests for us, especially since she provides us with the greatest reward at the end of it all.
Oh, that's why you want to explore the Presidium.
Barry, you were the one that showed us that we can get laid here. Don't try to walk the high road now.
Not that you can ever discount them. But we haven't had serious casualties for months. A civilian ship will spot an enclave and we send in a squad to clear it. They're not quite the boogeymen they used to be.
The Geth were never boogeymen. All they really did was attack a bunch of human colonies that lacked the means to defend themselves, and then the Citadel.
I approved.
They couldn't pull that shit on Earth.
We had to find out if they were behind the missing colonists. I couldn't tell anyone.
This is probably one of the few situations where Anderson doesn't completely trust Shepard. If you come here before the Horizon mission, he'll refuse to fill us in on the Vermeer Survivors mission.
Pretty sudden position swap from Shepard there.
What if the elusive man was manipulating you, lying to you? The report actually confirmed your story.
It is pretty funny to come here insisting that we aren't tricked by the elusive man if you're wearing any of the Cerberus armors.
Really, if you're pulling up in a Cerberus fit helmet and all, you should probably be arrested immediately.
Actually, isn't it kind of crazy that we brought Miranda Lawson, one of the elusive man's top operatives, here?
No wonder she's back there trying to blend into the wall with Garrus. She can't afford to be acknowledged by anyone.
Serving on the council isn't how I plan to spend my twilight years.
Yeah, sorry about that, Anderson. Don't worry, you'll be back on the ground kicking ass in no time.
Sorry, run that back. Did Anderson just say he's in his twilight years? Isn't he only like 48 years old or something?
Haven't you heard, Joe? Once you turn 30, you're basically a walking corpse. At 48, Anderson is practically decomposing.
It is kind of odd that Anderson considers himself in his twilight years. Humans can live fully healthy lives well into what we consider elderly now, thanks to the elimination of nearly all known diseases.
Roja said he's too old, like he's not about to lead the resistance against the Reapers on Earth.
Anderson is definitely short-selling himself.
All right, we've finished our business on the Citadel. Time to hit those recruitment missions. Okay, brief interruption here.
This seems kind of oddly timed.
Normally, I'd have used the EG mod to have the arrival mission not be available until after the suicide mission, but it makes for a piss-poor climax, so we'll be doing it sometime before the big finale.
This kind of mess with the urgency of this mission. We're about to leave Amanda Kenson in the hands of Batarians for what? A few months while we go about helping our team with their daddy issues.
Funny how both DLC missions involving Batarians have terrorism using a massive asteroid as a theme. Hopefully the Batarians aren't as hard on Kenson as I was on Balak.
I have a hell of a squad with me. I'm sure they'd help out.
Kenson is my friend. If the Batarians
They really won't see us. Hell, we could probably send Thane and Kasumi in there to handle things.
Yeah, I do not trust Kasumi's skills in a stealth mission after how unstealthy her loyalty mission was.
What's wrong you don't like that the master thief we rely on constantly reveals herself in front of people?
Is it not kind of odd that Hackett managed to get this communication through Miranda or Edie, whichever one handles transmissions? I mean, this conversation is definitely being monitored and will be passed along to the elusive man. I do wonder why he's apparently fine with Shepard taking this risk before the suicide mission has been completed.
The man probably knows as well as we do that you'll be able to cull 300,000 Batarians at the end of this, so it's well worth the trouble.
Realistically, the elusive man was probably able to verify that Kenson's proof of the Reaper's arrival was accurate, and probably would have wanted Shepard to come deal with this situation.
I like Donald's explanation more.
What else can you tell me about the operative?
Oh look, it's the average summer day in Texas.
The bugs are about damn near the same size too.
Motherfuckers always be like, I love the summer, and it feels like this when you're outside.
Haystrom has a surface temperature of 44 degrees Celsius.
What was that, Barack?
What the f is a Celsius?
Sorry, excuse me, that's 111.2 degree Fahrenheit.
Jesus Christ, is that the concrete back there smoking? Who would ever live on this hellscape?
People who live in Arizona scoff at this.
Haystrom was at one time a Quarian colony. It was established to observe the phenomena on its star, Dolan. The star is unstable and has a high possibility of erupting into a red giant.
Oh hell no, get me off this rock.
Relax, the Quarians started observing it 300 years ago, and since they lost the colony in the Geth War, the star hasn't blown up yet.
Knowing our luck, it's going to start expanding and cook us in the worst way.
The instability of Haystrom's star is believed to be related to the scrapped dark energy plot line for the Mass Effect trilogy.
I never did understand that. What exactly were they going for?
This is going to take a lot of yapping, and it might be kind of complicated.
Well, that won't be a problem for me. I'm all ears.
Just take it slow, Barry. You got to let me pace myself.
Okay, so dark energy as it relates to Mass Effect is the backbone of how everything in this universe works. It is manipulated using Element Zero, and when subjected to powerful electrical currents, Element Zero will release dark energy that can be harnessed to create mass effect fields, which effectively raise or lower the relative mass of objects. Are you with me here?
Give me an example of how mass effect fields lower mass.
The most common example is lowering the mass of ships to allow for faster than light travel throughout space.
Also, biotics rely on dark energy too. That's how the biotic charge works. You envelop yourself in a mass effect field, altering your mass, and allowing you to charge forward at insane speed with tons of force.
Good keeping up, Donald. Dark energy would be something that only organics could access for some space magic reason, and constant use of this dark energy through FTL travel and biotics would have an effect on the space-time continuum, eventually causing the end of the universe. The Reapers, as immortal beings, would want to prevent this.
So you're telling me the Reapers were the good guys?
Kind of, but there's another problem. The Reapers were also worried about the theorized opposite of the Big Bang, known as the Big Crunch, and apparently the only way to prevent it would be through the use of biotics. But remember, only organics can utilize dark energy. So the Reapers were forced to keep destroying and rebuilding the galaxy until they found the right biotic species. The Asari and Protheans were close, but not good enough.
So in the end, those damn bots couldn't just accept that the universe might end in like 20 trillion years or something. They weren't forced to do a damn thing. They could have just let it be.
I agree. The Reapers' desire to stop something that's only a theory had actual negative effects on the universe.
I do think it's interesting that the thing the game is named after, the Mass Effect, would be what threatened the entire universe.
So what's the deal? Why was this plot line scrapped for the whole red, blue, green ending we got instead?
Well, first off, it should be noted what I described wasn't exactly a fully fleshed out storyline. Drew Karpyshin, the lead writer of Mass Effect 1 and 2, did not work on Mass Effect 3 as such. The whole dark energy plot line was left undeveloped. Also, the whole thing kind of doesn't make sense if I'm being honest. Dark energy is not a phenomenon unique to the Milky Way. The problems dark energy cause should be a problem in other galaxies.
Well, we did explore another galaxy in the series already.
Maybe you did, but me personally, I didn't play that shit.
It is possible that the Scourge from Mass Effect Andromeda is related to dark energy. Of course, this isn't anything confirmed. It is theorized that the dark energy plot could be reintroduced in the next Mass Effect game, but we're far off from finding that out.
Well, good talk, Barry. I already don't remember half of what you said.
Bruh.
You shouldn't be surprised, Barack. That's my goat, Cal motherfucking Rhaegar.
Don't get me wrong, I like Tali, but it would have been pretty sick to have Rhaegar on the squad.
Interestingly enough, Tali was a character that the developers had plans to bring back, but they drafted up other potential Quarian squad mates. Starting off with Tali, though, one of the points about her is she would be made a pariah among her people for believing in Shepard.
Well, at least we weren't alone in getting clowned by our species for being smart enough to realize the Reapers were real.
It also seems to imply that Tali could have potentially swung both ways in her romance, and that the reason she doesn't make her move in Mass Effect 1 is because of Liara and either Kaidan or Ashley.
Tali was probably happy as hell when she realized Liara and the Vermeer survivor weren't going to be around this time.
One of the early plans for Tali's loyalty mission would be helping reestablish her reputation among her people, which is mostly what we end up doing anyway.
I'm just glad this confirms that Tali did have a crush on Shepard earlier in the trilogy.
There are 4 other scrapped Quarian squad mates. One of them is called the Crazy Quarian King. They would most likely meet up with us on the flotilla and ask to join us. This character's main motivation is getting revenge on the Geth, but he's real whimsical about it. He just wants to kill some bots.
Sounds like my kind of guy. Let's draft him up and bash some flashlight heads.
You think we should probably stop talking and go over there and help those guys?
They're fine. They're in a well-fortified area with a room they can retreat into. What could go wrong for them? Okay, never mind, my bad.
Oh, so the Geth can call down their space vessels to help during ground operations, but when we want to do it, it's a no-go.
That doorway is not blocked. What the hell is he talking about?
That block is a good, what, 6 feet tall or something? Just climb over it. Hell, I could probably do it.
I'm also pretty sure the goddamn Krogan we have with us could push that out the way.
Or we call the Normandian to blast it down, but whatever. Another one of the cut Quarians was known as the Quarian Infiltrator. A rogue type known for getting himself in trouble, Shepard would encounter this Quarian on Omega in the middle of a gunfight between the local authorities and some mercenaries.
What is with Quarians and going to one of the dirtiest and most dangerous places in the galaxy?
The Infiltrator's story is that he's looking for answers regarding the Geth, hoping to prove to his people it's safe to return to Rannoch. He somehow wound up with a bounty on his head, hence the fight with the Mercs and Omega authorities. Lastly, this character's romance would have been dependent on your morality. If you're too evil, he'll call things off.
In that case, we might as well collect his bounty ourselves.
Lastly is a character called the Fugitive Rebel, who could have been a human, Salarian or Aquarian. They would be a former revolutionary leader. Minimal information on this one. It probably didn't get too far.
Barry, it's kind of crazy how you just did nothing but deliver information while playing the game.
I'm just goated like that, you know how it is.
Relax, bud. It's just Tali's recruitment mission, not Horizon or the Collector vessel.
You're just mad you died 4 times, Donald.
No, I'm mad you're getting a snooze mission with the Geth while I had to fight the Collectors.
Donald, you were the one who said he'd take the Horizon mission. No one made you.
Shut up, Joe. 5 deaths in 1 episode, Biden.
Kind of weird how all our deaths just doubled in each of the first 3 episodes we played.
That was not deliberate at all.
Understood.
Good to see Geth Primes are still complete menaces to society.
The Geth Primes aren't anything to sweat over.
Bro, there is nothing more satisfying than when your squad mate syncs up and hits the nastiest combo on an enemy unit.
All the proof I need to know Garrus is the #1 teammate.
Shepard and Garrus out here jumping enemies like Yuji and Toto.
Okay, let's not get crazy now. Comparing the Turian to my best old friend is an insane take. I'm seeing a death in your near future, Barack.
Please, just who the hell do you think I am?
A man who's about 1 mistake away from getting roasted like Hangi.
Nope, not today.
Unfortunately, Garrus wasn't so lucky. And there goes Grunt. You really used the squad as meat shields.
Not my fault, they just stood there and got lit on fire.
If there is a God, you will get absolutely cooked for letting my son die like that.
Well, I won't be dying to a flamethrower, that's for damn sure.
You guys were pretty rough on this mission in the tier list video, but you gotta admit the layout is pretty sick.
At least we also get access to the high ground instead of the enemies having a monopoly on it.
Dossier Tali, at least gameplay-wise, is one of the better recruitment missions. It's just too bad it lacks any real dialogue, and since the plot line it hints at was never expanded upon, its world building is very minimal.
Don't care it has Tali and Rhaegar in it. It's a W mission, and you're still wild for letting that fake Reaper clone of Bernie Sanders trick you into underrating the mission.
That's a throwback and a half, Joe. I'm surprised you even retained any memories from that after I used the Crucible.
The fake Bernie Sanders might have been a Reaper clone, but I still stand by the judgment of Dossier Tali.
Tali, it's Shepard.
It is pretty crazy how both times we meet up with Tali, it's in the middle of her needing saving.
No doubt factors into her crush on us. The handsome and charming Barton Joe Shepard swooping in to save the young Quarian lady from certain danger.
I don't know, man. It kind of looked like Tali had herself covered when we meet her in Mass Effect 1.
That's part of Tali's charm. She's fully capable of taking care of herself, but she still likes being saved, which checks out given her interest in soap operas.
Good contrast with Liara, who is also young among her race but is a lot less capable.
And the console is damaged. Can you get it open on your end?
Let me see. Yes, I can do it. Here. Should be unlocked now.
Oh God, I hate these damn things.
They're pretty annoying even if you can easily clap them with overload.
At least we only encounter these things on Haystrom, and then we never see them again for the rest of the trilogy.
Makes me wonder what they're even doing in the game. They don't appear too often in Mass Effect 1 either.
If I didn't know better, I'd say they're here exclusively to annoy the shit out of me.
And you really don't like the Geth Recon drones.
Setting aside the fact that they dare to harm Richard Leroy Jenkins, they're just irritating gnats. They can't really kill you unless you're reckless, just damn distractions from the actual threat, which is the Geth Prime. Finally, we can take care of the Prime in peace.
I think more drones just spawned.
Garrus, get the hell out of the way.
The bird almost boxed you out of cover and got you killed. So much for being the best teammate.
Thank God that's over. Now we'll never have to see the recon drones again.
What the hell is that?
I believe that would be a Geth Colossus.
Well, that's not good at all.
Of all the times to not have the Mako.
Well, no goddamn wonder Tally's team got clapped up. The Geth were not playing around this time.
This is why I follow you, Shepard. Big things.
I'm glad you're enjoying your field trip, Grunt.
Over here! Get to cover!
And there's the man himself, my Quarian King.
You're doing tricks on it, Donald.
At least when I'm glazing someone, it's a badass soldier, and not a bird going through a midlife crisis.
A little funny bit about this. If you bring Legion along to recruit Tali, Rhaegar will point out that we have a Geth right behind us, and the only reason Rhaegar accepts Legion's pledge to fight the other Geth is because of his dire situation.
We should be glad Rhaegar didn't immediately fire his rocket launcher at Legion on sight.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Tali will be a lot more quick on the draw than Rhaegar. She'll shoot at Legion if you don't do a Paragon reaction to stop her.
That doesn't make me feel better at all.
It makes me feel better, though. That's my girl, Tali Zora, the definition of on-site.
So as many of you know, you have the option to make Rhaegar stand down, which will secure his life for the future. Or you can let him help you deal with the Colossus, but this will put his life at risk.
I don't know that I've ever had Rhaegar die.
For once I can say the same, I don't even understand what flags his death.
There's various claims from people saying he dies if you take too long to kill the Colossus, to people saying he dies if you end up getting a game over.
The game over one doesn't even make sense. The checkpoint is during the conversation with Rhaegar. If you did die, you could just use the Paragon dialogue to make him stand down.
It's more likely that Rhaegar has some kind of hidden health bar that depletes the more and more he's shot by either random Geth or the Colossus. After all, the Geth spawn infinitely until you kill the big guy, so inevitably Rhaegar must get shot at.
You'd have to be even slower than I am to let that happen.
Keeping Rhaegar alive is crucial if you want to have as many options as possible to get the ideal ending of Tali's loyalty mission, but I know I'll be perfectly fine, so I'll let him help us out.
If Rhaegar dies, I'm never going to forgive you, Barack. I just want to get that out there.
Relax, he'll be fine. I'm going to take this as seriously as I possibly can.
So which one of these pathways is actually the best?
I definitely prefer the left path. You can hide from the Colossus and the sun doesn't pose an annoyance. Sure, you'll have to deal with more Geth troopers, but they're relatively easy to deal with.
Please, a real goddamn soldier would charge straight down the middle and spear dick the Colossus with overwhelming firepower.
It's always the goddamn charge ability with you.
What Donald said is a perfectly viable strategy, if a bit risky and suicidal. You can charge straight onto the Geth Colossus, and assuming you get into cover before you get f***ed up, you'll be in the perfect position to kill the thing.
The right side of the map is all right, too, I guess. You'll get cooked by the sun, but it's a pretty decent sniper post.
Alternatively, you can just say, screw all of that, load up the M290 cane, and snipe the Geth Colossus from right next to Rhaegar.
I don't know about launching a goddamn nuclear weapon in the direction of our beloved Quarian squad mate.
I know we often call the cane a nuke, but it doesn't actually fire a nuclear warhead, just a traditional high explosive round that is applied to a 25-gram slug, which is fired at 5 kilometers a second.
What in the f*** is a kilometer?
God damn it, I am not going to convert the metric system to freedom units every time I have to break down information in Mass Effect. I'm going to let the non-United States-based viewers have this one.
You know, the fact that we measure everything in metric units of measurement seems to imply the United States probably loses this one.
Well, you'll never catch me using meters to measure the height of things.
Oh, f***, I don't like the looks of this.
That's another save by the Tech Armor Pulse. Picking Sentinel was my decision, need I remind you.
It's literally the only smart thing you've done the whole trilogy.
Well, that's not true. I did trick you into thinking I'd save Ashley.
Joe, I'm going to break you.
What?
What I have planned for you is going to be so unbelievably painful for you that you'll never cross me again.
Donald, calm down.
Barack, why do you keep stopping Donald? Are you in on his plans?
Joe, Jack is bald.
What the f did you just say?
Grunt, can you please, for the love of God, get your fat ass the f out of my way?
Don't talk about my son like that.
Well, your son almost got me killed.
Wait, did Rhaegar just die?
No, he always screams when the Colossus goes down.
Or maybe he did die and we just don't know it yet.
Thank you, Shepard. If not for you, I would never have made it out of this room.
Well, don't worry, Tally. You made it out of this room to come join us on a suicide mission that none of us might survive.
I love Tally to death, but isn't she kind of 0 for 2 for squads right now?
Getting squad wiped like this twice in such a short amount of time is insane.
Was it worth it?
I don't know, Shepard.
Well, considering the data Tally was researching has to do with the scrapped dark energy plotline, I'm going to go ahead and say no, none of this was worth it.
I have to believe that they know what's best.
I didn't ask what some admiral thought. I asked what you thought.
A lot of people died here.
Only some of them. Who didn't you like, Tally? Spill the juice.
Donald, they're dead.
All the more reason to dig into things. It's not like anyone is alive to get their feelings hurt.
Whatever the reason, I'm glad I could help. Once you deliver that data, I could use you on the Normandy.
We got a brand new ship for you to explore, Tally. Don't worry, this one doesn't belong to the Alliance, so I don't mind if you steal more information for your people this time.
I don't think she needed our permission, Barry. If Tally sees it, she's taking notes on it.
Watch the rest of my team die.
Maybe not the whole rest.
That's my fucking goat.
I told you I wouldn't let him die.
Your old captain's as good as you said. Damn Colossus never stood a chance.
How the mighty gift Colossus has fallen. We don't even need the tank anymore.
The Normandy can get you out of here, Rhaegar.
The Geth didn't damage our ship. As long as we get out of here before
Are you sure, Rhaegar?
We'll be fine.
We have an opening in the armory of our ship. There's no one there. A perfect spot for you.
Doesn't Jacob work in the armory?
Quiet Joe, you're going to ruin our only chance.
Oh, my bad.
Now, Shepard. Keep her safe.
Cerberus saw footage of you in action, Talizora.
What kind of action are we talking about here?
Jesus Christ, Donald, not that kind of action.
I don't know who you are, but Cerberus threatened the security of the migrant fleet. Don't make nice.
She hasn't even been on the ship for a day yet, and she already doesn't like Jacob.
Well, considering what Jacob is going to say in a bit, I can't say I blame her.
I wasn't part of what happened to the migrant fleet, but I understand your distrust.
You may not have been a part of it, Taylor, but I bet it's one of those things you choose to ignore.
Undercover, Shepard. Maybe even planning to blow Cerberus up. If that's the case, I'll loan you a grenade.
Tally really do stay packing with those grenades.
Well, her suit does have a ton of pockets. If you're not going to fill them with snacks, you might as well put explosives in them.
Remember, Shepard, these people thought enslaving...
Well, I'll be damned, someone does remember what we saw Cerberus doing during the UNC missions.
Don't forget to introduce yourself to Edie, the ship's new artificial intelligence.
Bruh.
Real fucking smooth, Taylor.
Don't know if Quarians have slurs in their mother tongue, but if there are any, I'm pretty sure Tally is thinking it.
I assume everything is going well up here? Joker?
The hell is wrong with him now?
When it's listening.
I am always listening, Mr. Moreau.
I didn't even think of that. Joker's girlfriend can hear everything that happens on the ship. Bro is never going to get away with anything.
Forget letting your girl go through your phone. Joker's girl can just access the entirety of the extra net in literal seconds. Bro is cooked.
I've got green across the board. The forward tank.
Ah, my favorite crewmates, what shenanigans are they up to now?
I'm talking about the one that's covered and protected, not bouncing in the breeze.
I don't know.
Kenneth and I are two of a kind, it seems.
Very official. It always makes me stand at attention.
You're such a dog.
I'm about to be a dog when we see Samara in a bit.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
Now that you're more than a walking codex for the Quarians and the Geth, we'll be more than glad to speak to you, Tally.
We have time to chat while taking out Geth on Haystrom, did we?
That's true, but there's no better bonding experience than taking out Geth with your friends.
I feel like taking out Geth with you two has done nothing but drive us further apart.
About stars blowing.
Yeah, because of you, you rat bastard.
Admiralty board gets some use out of it.
Okay, despite what I said before, I'm having Tally literally say information she can provide in Mass Effect 1.
BioWare knew no one talked to her in Mass Effect 1, so they're giving us a second chance to hear things.
They also handled major criminal charges, like treason.
I got a sneaking suspicion that line about treason is going to be relevant in due time.
Well, you know the saying, foreshadowing is a literary device that alludes to a future event.
Having any trouble settling back?
No trouble at all, especially since Tally somehow found herself being the lead engineer of the ship.
Of all the people for her to name, she named Presley and fucking Adams.
I mean, Tally did spend the entire game studying the Normandy's drive core. I'm sure she was in there talking about all that nerd with Adams.
Working with Cerberus is only the right thing to do because we're going to take this banger ship back to the Alliance with us.
What happened between Cerberus and the Quarians?
They attacked one of our ships, the Dana.
Hey, you mentioned this earlier.
I'm surprised you remember that.
A young human biologist.
Yes, read or listen to Mass Effect Ascension for more details.
I do know.
But as a fun fact, Collie Sanders, who we meet at Grissom Academy, plays a central role in the book. Well, actually, she's basically the main character of all three of the actually good Mass Effect trilogy novels.
The listening devices and tracking beacons that are all over this ship.
Damn, Tally kind of just ate you up there.
Resources to fight the collectors. But be careful, Shepard.
You won't get anything past Tali, that's for sure.
To betray us at some point, and we'll be ready.
I'm glad to hear that, Shepard. Just let me know how I can help.
We're finally making our way to Ilium. Unfortunately, we won't get to engage in any corporate espionage like we do on Novaria. Rather, we would if Donald didn't get Gianna Parasini killed.
I regret nothing and stand by all of my decisions.
Well, at least we'll get to see Liara here, if nothing else.
So this Asari here would have been an envoy for the Arachne Queen. She would have let us know that she and her people are staying out of trouble.
Look at what your bloodbath on Novaria caused, Donald. All the flavor on Ilium has been cut to shreds.
The hell are you talking about? I saved this poor girl from becoming a slave of those damn bugs.
I don't know, the Asari seemed pretty happy to be living with and working for the Arachni. She felt the bugs gave her purpose after her extremely boring corporate life.
That's Cap. There's no way that isn't just the bug's mind control doing its work.
And here's where Gianna would be. Unfortunately, we're missing out on helping her expose an Asari for smuggling schematics from Novaria.
Well, you know the saying, snitches get stitches.
Yeah, well, we're also missing out on getting a little smooch on the cheek from her, too.
Like I need that when we're about to pick up the only woman I care about, Samara.
Oh, I guess he's finally over Ashley.
Welcome. Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Can I help you?
You. Shepard.
Hey, what the f was that for?
Hold on now. Don't think being a beautiful Asari precludes you from getting your ass beat.
That one's for free. You'll regret the next one.
Nah, I'm gonna need to spin back for that. Give me a renegade reaction right goddamn now.
Your friend came into my bar, harassed my people, and tried
The f is this bitch talking about?
Oh, wait, I know what this is. Goddamn him.
I don't remember ever getting backhanded by this Asari, which I really want to pay back.
Group bothers my people again, I'll have you arrested so fast you'll redshift on your way to the prison transport.
Yeah, well, you hit me again, you'll red shift on your way to the morgue.
As a bartender, something's not right. We should check out this bar.
Oh no, oh God.
Oh, now I fucking remember. You gotta be kidding me.
Conrad, I'm having second thoughts about not letting you get killed in Mass Effect 1.
Hey, if you know this idiot, can you rein him in before I slap his ass with a singularity?
I'm gonna slap his ass with a blast from the cane so he's getting blown up one way or another.
Conrad Werner. We met on the Citadel? I wanted to
Wait a second, is Conrad not going to mention that I put a gun in his face? That definitely did happen.
Conrad, I got backhanded earlier because of you. You're going to have to answer for
Let
it.
me make this perfectly clear. This is not acceptable.
He's lucky all we have on us is a pistol and an SMG. Let me come back here with the Claymore.
All right, bro. It's not that serious. You have body armor on.
Joe, that body armor fake as hell.
Dog, his Jordans are fake.
It still scared me. I'm new at the badass mercenary thing. People don't usually shoot me.
God, I'm so tempted to tell him to get lost so he dies, but I'd rather get his war assets in Mass Effect 3.
How does Conrad die this time?
If you tell Conrad to get lost, he'll storm off in a fit. Eventually, you'll hear a news report that explains Conrad was trying to capture some kids that were hitching a ride on top of a bus. Conrad apparently falls off the bus, is struck by several passing sky cars, and then eventually falls into the power turbine of a biomass recycling facility.
Sounds like someone at BioWare wasn't too fond of Conrad either if they gave him that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse-ass death.
Conrad's wife can't like him either if she readily paid for him to kick rocks.
She probably grew tired of him constantly glazing Commander Shepard.
You know, I'm starting to doubt Conrad was ever married at all in the first place.
Your doubts would be correct, Donald. Conrad will reveal to us in Mass Effect 3 that his wife was made up.
I think I like it more when we're led to believe he is married and his wife is so tired of him she spends money to be rid of him.
I think Conrad is pathetic enough a human being without also being in a marriage where his wife probably cucks him.
Undercover cop. She told me about it when I introduced myself.
Listen, crap for brains. First, we don't sell red sand. Second, red sand is legal on Ilium. You just need a license.
A fun fact about red sand. It's a stimulant with biotic enhancing properties. Despite that, its abuse is disproportionately high among non-biotics. In an attempt to relate more with biotics, people will dust up.
That doesn't sound fun at all, Barry. It sounds depressing as hell.
Usually causes property damage. That comes out of my pay.
Just let me know if you need any help, Shepard.
We will do no such thing.
Have you faced an Asari commando unit before?
Liara's working on her best, the matriarch impression.
I'll make it simple.
I think she needs to work on her delivery.
Pay me, or I flay you alive.
with my mind.
The "with my mind" line at the end was kind of unnecessary. No need to emphasize that you'll kill them using your biotics. It's kind of obvious, and it takes away from the punch of flay them alive.
I'm glad to see Liara has gotten over how things went down with Ashley during Mass Effect 1.
Well, Ashley was reduced to atoms, so there's no use in beefing over it anymore.
Said you were alive, but I never believed. It's very good to see you.
Liara, you saw us not that long ago. I mean, we were a broken and charred mess, but you know how it is.
That was just a customer unhappy with the information he received. He'll pay. They always do.
Not the nerdy little archaeologist she was the last time we saw her.
Liara's changes were pretty controversial back in the day. A lot of people didn't like that she went from a socially awkward geek to a more stoic and reserved character. Thankfully, the Shadow Broker DLC came along and adds some more context.
One thing I don't like is how Garrus and Tali have absolutely nothing to say to their old friend.
Yeah, this is definitely an L for Mass Effect 2 in comparison to 3.
That's not exactly public.
Squad mates don't speak enough during missions, even when it makes sense. Garrus and Tali should have at least gotten a one-off line or something.
And if you need information on finding people, I'm happy to help.
I recognize that armor. You're with that other guy, Werner, Commander Shepard's friend.
Wait, this woman doesn't recognize us as Commander Shepard?
Seems kind of odd when we were immediately flagged upon entering Omega.
The only people Ilium care about keeping track of are people who owe them money, and Quarians just so they can keep them off the planet.
Wait. This whole place is under video surveillance. You can't shoot me?
Are you willing to bet your life on that one, sweetheart?
Security cameras. Conrad Werner is an idiot, but he doesn't deserve to be manipulated like that. You're gonna make it up to him.
Not gonna lie, I'm not doing this for Conrad.
No.
I'm doing it because we scare this woman into giving us a discount.
And then you're gonna leave. That's all. Are we clear?
Yes, we're clear. Look, I'm even putting you in for a discount at the kiosk, okay? I'll do that. Talk to Werner and I'm gone, I swear.
All right, kick rocks.
What do you want?
Time for a little bit of relationship counseling.
Hopefully he doesn't get jealous we're talking to his girl. Getting tackled by one Krogan was enough.
We're lucky Char the Krogan is another one of those nice ones.
His name is Char. We're kind of dating, but, well, we're on a break. And he's trying to show me how sensitive he is by, well, wooing me. It's really bad.
It might be really cringe, but you're still here listening to him.
He's serious. Serious, as in talking about kids.
He wants kids in this economy? Bro has lost his mind.
Permanent. Krogans live long lives. It's not like dating a human where you just stick it out for a century till they die.
Just sticking it out for a century until we die is absolutely insane to say out loud.
Well, it makes sense. You hook up with an Asari during her matron stage and you're dead in about 100 years. What's she supposed to do for the next 500?
Stay single and wait to join me in the afterlife, obviously.
Joe, you didn't even do that for your first wife.
Okay, man, chill.
This is why I go after the Asari matriarchs. Don't gotta worry about it moving on. Hook up with a 900-year-old Asari and we both get to go together.
Erba here really pulled a Krogan within the top 1%. Instead of a meathead mercenary, she got a technician. She needs to not fumble this.
Tattoo removed. Let your scalp go back to its natural blue and settle down with someone dependable.
Girl, you just described someone totally dependable when you were talking about Char.
You need to talk to your boyfriend. He's just gonna keep shouting poetry until you do.
I know, but it's tough. I like him a lot. Hell, I love him.
Then stay with him, dummy.
He's permanent bond material.
Well, look, if you won't permanently bond with him, maybe you'll give me a shot. I'm a pretty dependable guy myself.
She's much too nice a girl for you, Donald. Stay away from her.
Making machine? He said I wasn't, but...
If he said that, then you either trust him, so you have nothing to worry about, or you don't, and you've already decided.
Damn Shepard straight spitting with that one.
Like that. And I do trust him.
Well, there you go. It's a happy ending.
Well, not really.
Talk to him.
Char will unfortunately meet his end during the Attican Traverse Krogan team mission during Mass Effect 3. He'll leave a dying message for Ereba regardless of whether you convince her to stay with him or not. If you had Ereba break things off, Char's poem will be about giving her room to grow and letting her be happy. If you had Ereba take him back, Char's message will imply that the two of them have already had a child.
Damn, even I feel bad about that one.
Well, if it helps, we're about to meet up with an old friend from Pharos.
Shepard,
Shiala, you doing something different with your makeup?
That's a very unfortunate shade of green she is. It couldn't be something a bit more brilliant. Just a really dull color.
Thorian creature as a slave, and you killed it.
Please, Shiala, don't remind me. The work we did on Pharos wasn't particularly enjoyable or worth remembering.
I don't know, I enjoyed watching both of you die before I did.
I'm getting real tired of you talking shit when you're obviously the worst of us.
If you happen to kill Shiala at the end of the Pharos mission, she'll be replaced with a random female colonist for this assignment instead.
Back to their headquarters, however.
along with what was left of the thorium.
Oh, hell no. What do you mean with what's left? They need to burn that thing until nothing is left.
In hindsight, all we did was cut the roots of the thorium off the walls, causing it to fall. It probably didn't die from that and would have just planted itself into the ground some more.
So you're telling me the thorium might be a potential threat in the next Mass Effect?
God, I hope not. I am not trying to see the thorium creepers ever again.
If the thorium makes a return, then things for the next Mass Effect are kind of cooked.
My purpose on Ilium will seem mundane by comparison.
Is there something I can do to help?
I'd appreciate it. I've reached the limits of my diplomatic abilities.
You still got a lot to learn, Shiala. When diplomacy fails, you turn to violence.
Problems as a result of the thorium control. We hired a colonial survey group to do some medical scans. But the medical contract apparently allows the company to perform invasive procedures without our consent.
That's what they get for not reading the fine print.
Wait a minute. Shiala, you were only green when the thorium made you a clone. The real you was blue, like normal Asari.
Like normal Asari is crazy work.
We can't ask someone why they're green like that.
It's like that scene in Attack on Titan when Sasha asks Onyekapon why his skin is so dark.
A few months after the thorium died, my skin pigment changed. My biotic abilities are unstable as well.
But shouldn't she be able to dye her body back to a normal blue color?
Maybe, but I don't think skin pigment changes are permanent. It's probably like dyeing your hair. Eventually your natural color will start coming through, and I'd imagine it'd be a pain in the ass and really damn intrusive to have your entire body painted head to toe.
What they experienced while under thorium control.
What's your problem with humans?
Not just humans, it's all of you.
Ah, some good old xenophobia. At least it's coming from an Asari this time and not another human.
Nobody but the Asari had ever dragged themselves out of the primordial muck.
Listen, dear, I'm all about the Asari myself. But if no one but the Asari were here, this whole damn galaxy would have been overrun by the bugs in no time.
Saved you from Saren and the Geth.
The Geth created by the idiotic Quarians? And a rogue Turian Spectre...
Need I remind you that Saren's plans wouldn't have worked if Shiala and the Matriarch hadn't been working with
They
him.
attacked your human colony, Eden Prime, first. You humans brought the Geth upon us. You and the Turians...
How in the f*** is she blaming humanity for the attack on Eden Prime? We're the victims here.
Whose deaths are we talking about exactly?
The mother of my daughters was killed on the Quarian homeworld.
All right, well, take that one up with Tali, not us.
Throwing Tali under the bus already, Donald. We just got her back on the team.
My daughters died on the Citadel when the Geth attacked. One worked in the embassy. The other was a greeter for the consort.
Wait, the Asari greeter for the consort? She died?
The one who told us we'd have to wait 3 or 4 months, right?
It's not confirmed, but that is definitely what's being implied here. Irinia's other daughter was most likely the Asari we see working the receptionist desk at the embassies.
Damn, now I feel bad about never speaking to the receptionist. We kind of just ignored her.
And look what happened to them!
You've suffered, I get that. But these colonists were trying to live peacefully. They've suffered too. They lost family to the Geth and the thorium creature. Don't add to their anguish.
Awesome, good old talk, no jutsu, good work, Shepard.
I like how the renegade option there was just us being a tiny bit more forceful than what we said. In reality, Shepard's words weren't evil at all.
Frankly, we could have been a lot harder on her if she hadn't relented so easily.
You did it. I just got the revised contract.
Damn, that was a quick turnover.
Shepard, you've saved Zoo's hope again.
Just don't make me have to do it a third time.
Is it always like this? Yesterday's problems lingering in some new form. Isn't anything ever just fixed?
Shiala, you better just enjoy how easy things are right now. Because in a few months, oh boy, you're really going to love that.
Actually, the Zoo's Hope colonists do pretty well in the Reaper War. Their previously established connection, thanks to the thorium, make them a good fighting force against the Reaper's forces.
I won't. Thank you for what you've done here, Shepard. I'll keep doing what I can. Maybe sometime when I'm not organizing the...
Whoa, what's this?
That's what I'm talking about, we're so in.
You know, Asari really do fall for Shepard left and right. I guess being the primary example of the human species pays off.
Where do you think you're going?
All right, that's enough adventures on Ilium. Time to get back to it with the recruitment mission.
About damn time, I'm getting tired of waiting.
Samara isn't going anywhere, Donald, relax.
Samara isn't the person you should be waiting on, Donald. Have you forgotten we'll be seeing our Lord and Savior in this mission, the Biotic God?
Oh shit, I need to find my good suit.
Would have been nice of you to warn us, Barry. I'm too tired to properly pay my respects.
What about that Justicar that just showed up?
Everyone says she might go crazy and start killing.
A little late for that. Pretty sure Samara's out there wiping out the Eclipse sisters single-handedly.
About Pitney 4. Find me in the station if you need me. Nice guns. Try not to use them in my district.
I can't make any promises about that detective.
I'm looking for an Asari warrior named Samara.
It is extremely urgent you point us in her direction as quickly as possible. I need to see her.
I'm just going to go sit on the other side of the room. I don't know what Donald's going to do when Samara appears, but I don't want to be near him when it happens.
Justicars usually work alone, but they are drawn to impossible causes.
We've got that covered.
Impossible causes are all this gang knows.
She's at the crime scene.
Yeah, at the crime scene, turning it into a bloodbath.
You're awfully anxious to get Samara out of your district.
My bosses want me to detain her. They're worried she'll cause
That sounds like a bad idea.
The only thing more dangerous than trying to detain Samara would be trying to detain Shepard. Just ask the folks on the Arrival Project.
Kill me. I have no interest in dying, so if you lure her away with some big noble cause before I have to carry out my orders, I'm thrilled.
Always respect people who know they don't get paid enough to die.
Your superiors are sending you to certain death for no good reason. You have a right to disobey.
We can disobey suicidal orders. Why wasn't I told?
That's about twice a day.
You two motherfuckers have been silent for the past 14 minutes.
I can't say the same for Anais.
Now all of a sudden you're willing to open your mouths.
Pretty base from Tally and the Bird if I'm being honest.
Unless I can get her to leave my district first.
Damn, you know her back going to be hurting like crazy.
I'm pretty sure that Asari can't feel anything at all anymore.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry, Mommy.
Donald, what the f*** is wrong with you?
Oh, hell nah, that boy tweaking. What in the f*** is happening to him?
I was joking when I said he'd turn into a dog as soon as Samara appeared.
Hold on, is he doing that thing he did at the end of the squad mate tier list video?
Oh my God, he is. And the only reason he stopped last time is because we were getting McDonald's.
Are you telling me he's going to be stuck like this?
He might stop if we wait it out.
Barry, man, I don't think we can wait this out. We have a lot of episode left to go.
Okay, we're going to have to take an intermission to go get a Big Mac and chicken nuggets or this will never end. We'll be back.
Find peace in the embrace of the goddess. My name is Samara.
All right, things have seemed to settle down now.
How'd you guys know I was hungry? I don't even remember asking for anything.
You were laying it on pretty thick that you were absolutely famished, Donald.
Well, thanks for the grub. Let's carry on with the recruitment mission.
I'm not trying to beef with Samara after watching her clap up a whole Eclipse platoon.
I know gameplay-wise, these Eclipse sisters aren't supposed to be anything special. But in terms of the lore, they're all Asari commando-level fighters. Samara taking them out so easily is impressive.
I seek an incredibly dangerous fugitive. I cornered her here, but the Eclipse sisters smuggled her off-world. I must.
She got that girl twisted up like a stick of licorice.
At least she went out getting Samara to step on her for free. It should have been me, not her. It's not fair.
Donald, you need to seek God.
The only thing I need to seek is the bottom of Samara's boots.
Your orders, detective. Fortunately, I will not have to resist.
It's time for us to bully the second beach ball of the day.
Hello, Earth Clan. If you're interested in weapons, I have a fine selection. Unfortunately, I am not open for business right now.
Why would he tell us he has a fine selection of weapons if his store isn't open for business?
I know nothing about any mercenaries, Earth Clan. I'm merely...
Having to aim your gun downward like that to threaten a Volus is so goddamn funny.
The Volus got the worst of it. Not only are they incredibly round, they're also incredibly short on top of the fact that they need environmental suits to survive. And those suits cause them to sound like they're wheezing. At least Aquarians get to be tall, shapely, and can speak clearly.
How the hell are the Volus even an economic powerhouse given their build?
The Volus, to their credit, were the third species to post an embassy at the Citadel, and they authored the act that made the credit the standard currency in galactic trade. Despite the role in the Milky Way's economy, the Volus are very weak militarily and are a client state of the Turian hierarchy. The Volus might have the money, but they lack the military and technological might to make a push for council status.
No wonder the Volus ambassador doesn't like us. We came in here and accomplished everything they've been trying to do in a millennia in only 2.5 decades.
Sounds like a skill issue to me.
For once, skill issue actually applies. The Volus made themselves subservient to the Turians, while humans made a strong push for territory and made huge improvements in technology and military. And because we kind of pushed the Turians back during first contact, we earned the respect and the fear of the council races.
Casual W for humanity. What can I say?
Eclipse sister commits a murder to earn her uniform. They are all dangerous.
Mind over matter.
Goddamn, we just walked in and they're already trying to get us baked.
The Minigen X3 gas will either increase the damage of your biotic powers or the range, but of course it'll do damage to your shields and health. There's some cut dialogue from the squad mates where they comment if they're under the effects of the gas. It seems this stuff stings quite a bit.
It's a good thing none of us develops an addiction to the stuff as a result of this mission. Couldn't be me, though. Let me gain biotic powers from a little bit of dust I'm popping off.
Keep Donald away from the red sand.
While we've got the chance, there's a cut character to talk about here. In the cut characters template, there is a cut Asari character known as the Asari Spectre. There isn't a lot of information on her, but she would have been 400 years old. And this Spectre would have been hunting down an imposter commander Shepard on Omega.
All that does is make me want Televasir to join our squad.
An imposter Shepard? Are we talking about the clone?
Or likely it's Conrad Werner pretending to be Shepard.
Checks out. Conrad is better at pretending to be Shepard than the clone is.
Wait, stop! I didn't fire my weapon once. I pretended to because the other...
Because I pretended to shoot the best lie she could come up with?
Doesn't matter, as Pitney 4 told us. Eclipse sisters get their uniform by committing a murder. Elnora here is in uniform, so she's definitely not good.
She also clearly just tried to draw on us.
And you lost.
Screw that bastard and screw you.
Shooting a single shot from an M9 Tempest is crazy.
Goddamn, the whole squad wanted to get one shot off on her.
Squad that kills together stays together.
Elnora had it coming anyway. There's an audio recording later on where she's gloating about killing Pitney 4's business partner.
Man, look at that majestic-ass sunset.
And here's a gunship just in time to ruin the view.
BioWare really said, making more unique boss fights, let's just start using the gunship for the Archangel mission.
If only we brought Kasumi with us so she could jump up there and blow it up or something.
Barack, why are you not using the heavy weapon?
I don't need to waste heavy weapon ammo on something like this.
Bro, this is taking forever.
What the hell happened there?
I double-tapped the leave cover button in a panic after getting hit by that rocket.
Too bad you were having a pretty good episode.
All right, we go again. You know what, man? F it, let's get this over with.
Thank Christ.
I don't even know why you're trying to conserve the heavy weapon ammo.
Well, I want to make sure we have enough so we can easily deal with the Reaper IFF mission and the human Reaper larva.
Barack, I know you like planning ahead, but why don't we focus on today's trials and worry about tomorrow's when we get there?
Fine, that's valid. Kneel before the biotic god himself.
Looks like we caught him at a good time. He didn't blow us up for getting in his way.
I am a biotic god.
Goddamn, look at the aura he's emitting. He's the real deal. Actually, you know what? Never mind. We've run this joke into the ground. The Volus here isn't an all-powerful biotic god who could fold the universe with just a thought. He's just a businessman who was pumped full of biotic-enhancing drugs.
Goddamn, Donald. You really ripped the Band-Aid off the viewer's knees there.
You might as well have said Santa Claus isn't real.
I would never say that because Santa Claus is real.
To be honest, I didn't have any jokes for the biotic god anyway, so let's just talk about the man himself, Niftucal. As Donald said, Niftu is a member of Pitney 4's business group. He's demonstrating biotic power for no reason other than the fact that the Eclipse mercenaries pumped him full of Minigen X3 or potentially red sand.
I guess that's why his biotic attack on the mercs is so tiny.
You can stop Niftu from going any forward by pushing him over. He'll get up and realize how tired he is and leave the area. You can then encounter him next to Pitney, where he'll thank you for getting him out of danger.
Oh shit, I didn't realize he actually comes to his senses later on. Now I feel bad about sending him out to fight for the memes.
If you do send him out, he'll fire off an extremely weak biotic warp on Wasaya, and then she'll retaliate with her own and send Niftu into some boxes. I'm guessing he died since we don't see him again, but it's possible he was only knocked out.
Nah, he died. Bro was already so high. He was floating to the pearly gates. A warp would have just hastened the journey.
Alternatively, you can just ignore Niftu and go straight to the final fight. If you do this, Niftu will still not appear at the spaceport. Presumably, he wanders off in his drunken stupors and is never seen again. I suppose he has to come down from his high sooner or later, though.
Shepard, this guy couldn't tie his bootlaces, much less fight.
So how are we going to handle him?
We're going to let him go. Obviously, we're pretty well locked into the renegade path and can't afford too many screw-ups going forward.
Then why did you just pick the wrong dialogue option?
My bad, misclick. I'll just ignore the Paragon interrupt.
Are you mad? I'm unstoppable. Feasting on her biotic-rich blood will be the last step of my ascension to godhood.
All right, have fun ascending to godhood, Niftu.
An ill wind blows upon Wasea, captain of the Eclipse Sisters. After me!
Goddamn, she looks so cool.
They were in their bag when they designed Wasaya. I love the orange markings in her armor.
Too bad they did all of that just for her to die in this mission.
Damn, I'm impressed it made her flinch.
I'm impressed he managed to aim it at all.
Take a nap, Niftu. Let the real biotics handle things. Also, one last fun fact about Niftu Cal, he's voiced by Mark Meer.
They really got that man voicing everyone. Niftu, all the Vorcha, what else is there?
Mark Meer also voiced Praza, Tali's subordinate from Freedom's Progress, as well as Blasto, the first Hanar Spectre.
Damn, Mark Meer voiced both the first human and Hanar Spectres. What a massive W.
That filthy creature off-world. First a Justicar shows up. Now you.
You should be glad we showed up instead of Samara. We could be reasoned with, but you're choosing to fight anyway.
Reason with you maybe, but not me. We're taking this fight.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Another day, another mercenary captain off the leaderboard.
Oh, shit.
No way the NPC just boxed you in like that.
Now, you see, me personally, I would have been on the Vanguard class here, and a good old-fashioned charge would have prevented that from happening.
Or maybe charge wouldn't work like it tends to do in Mass Effect 2, and you would have died anyway.
They're all mine.
I do appreciate you standing out in the open so I can shoot you Wasaya.
She's just giving you a freebie after you got bodied by her cronies.
Well, it could have been worse for him. At least Barry didn't die to some vomit from the Thorian Creeper this time.
Man, she really does like that corner.
It must be where she feels secure. I'm pretty sure almost dying is scaring her.
She was popping off talking about turning us into a pulpy mass, and now look at her. Running away and hiding in a corner. The Terminus mercenaries aren't anything to worry about.
All right, now that Wasaya has left her corner, now's a good time to bring the big guns out.
Bro waits until there's like 4 people left, and the big boss herself is near dead, to finally bring out his strongest weapon. Mommy, we've got your information. Now report to the captain's cabin on the Normandy post-haste.
Donald, I kind of have some bad news for you.
Look, I know Samara is tough to romance, but I think there's some decent payoff to pursuing it, even if we get nothing but a hug.
Donald, we can't romance Samara.
Oh, so you want to fight me this time too, Barack? I'll get Miranda killed, I swear to God.
Bro's gonna make us have the worst Citadel DLC party imaginable, just so he can romance a character who rejects us in the game.
Donald, listen to me. You know how Samara is a paragon of goodness and justice, right?
Yeah, what about it?
And you know how we're on a mostly renegade run, right?
Yes, how long are you going to state the obvious?
Even I can tell where this is headed, but I guess Donald is too horny to put A and B together.
Donald, Samara won't romance Shepard if they're too renegade. Hell, she'll probably end up threatening to kill us when we get to Mass Effect 3.
Wait, so you mean no hug?
Nope. No hug.
You mean I crashed out over Samara earlier for no reason?
Not for no reason. I thought it was kind of funny, and we got some food thanks to it.
Well, this fucking sucks.
It's the consequences of your own actions, Donald. Perhaps we should tell Samara what you did to poor old Jana Parasiti.
Whatever, man. I don't even care who we romance anymore.
Is now a good time to show you the enlightened path of Miranda?
Just give Jack a chance, bro. She'll grow her hair out next game if the buzz cut is seriously a deal breaker for you.
You know what? F it, I'm going for Liara.
Is this a fucking joke?
Well, how the turns have tabled.
We had a whole ass story arc where you tried to stop me from romancing Liara just for you to settle on her. When you realize you can't get Samara.
What can I say? Things can change.
I am glad to hear it. I will fight by your side, kill your enemies, and protect your friends.
Welcome to the Normandy, Samara.
How dare that motherfucker touch Samara's hand?
You've given up on her and you're still simping.
Thank you. From an organization such as yours, that is high praise indeed.
Kind of weird for Samara, an alien, to speak highly of a human supremacist group.
Pretty sure she's just being polite. Samara is well-traveled and probably does her best to not get on the bad sides of anyone, you know, unless they're evil. Which Cerberus is, but I guess Samara wouldn't know that.
Would be most comforting.
Put her in the observation room on deck 3. I assume everything.
How's it going with your girlfriend, Joker?
This thing wants to fire me over a joke.
Wait, can Edie fire people?
No, that's the whole joke here.
Edie being into comedy is a cheat code. She has no emotional inflection, so you can never tell when she's being serious or not.
That's probably why she always states when something is a joke.
Then why? Why are you always picking on me?
Because she likes you, Joker.
Do you guys think Joker liked Edie before she got her body?
I think you know the answer to that.
I mean, if Joker is anything like Samantha Trainer, then he probably fell for Edie's voice first, and then the body made it less weird so he could be out and open about the fact that he fell for an artificial intelligence.
Joker found love all thanks to Cerberus developing Edie's intelligence and then building Dr. Eva's body.
If anyone came out on top from joining up with Cerberus, it was definitely my boy Joker.
Shut up.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Before we round things out by recruiting Thane, we need to stop by Eternity to speak to Conrad.
We didn't speak to Liara's dad, too, by the way.
Good looking out. I'd forgotten.
The weapons merchant said that we took care of the red sand dealers.
Conrad really does believe anything anyone tells him.
Being so gullible while on Ilium is usually a pretty bad mix. It's a wonder Conrad hasn't been tricked into signing some contract that forces him into lifelong servitude. To be honest, getting tricked by that weapons merchant Asari was the best case scenario for him.
Try to stay out of trouble, Werner. We might not be so nice next time.
Thanks for taking care
As Donald stated earlier, Atheta here is Liara's father.
What the hell determines which one is the mother and which one is the father?
The mother Asari is the one who gets pregnant, or pops the baby Asari out, as Atheta explains in Mass Effect 3. And the father is the one who passes along their genetic information during the joining.
You know, doesn't she end up looking really different in Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, for some reason Atheta takes on a darker shade of blue, and her facial structure changes quite a bit. For some reason, BioWare didn't unify her appearance throughout both 2 and 3 like they did with Kelly Chambers.
Dad was a Krogan who fought in the Rachni Wars. My mother fought in the Krogan rebellions.
Damn, the family get-together for Atheta must have been crazy. You got Dad's side of the family popping off about the rebellion and Mom's side trying to play it cool.
It'd be like having 2 parents who fought in the Civil War or something.
Whatever the alien equivalent of Thanksgiving is must have been crazy.
Damn, Atheta and Liara, by extension, wouldn't even be alive if it weren't for the Genophage.
I'm sure that's true for a lot of Asari. I'd imagine Krogan, who never had children, sought out Asari partners.
I guess the Genophage had some perks after all.
What happened when he found out?
I was about 100, shaking my ass in some sleazy bar. They got me on the link. Told me that they were gonna have it out.
I guess her parents decided to skip the Thanksgiving dinner argument and jumped straight to an old-fashioned family brawl.
Easy, since neither one did.
Rest in peace.
Well, it could be worse.
How could having your mom and dad settle an old war dispute ending in death be any worse?
Why is a matriarch in a bar serving drinks?
It's better than what most other matriarchs are doing.
I mean, yeah, your ex was out there getting indoctrinated while the rest of them ignore the Reaper threat.
All that sorry wisdom got the Destiny Ascension blown to hell, and now
okay, well, to be fair, that one is kind of on me, but I don't think we need to tell her that.
What was coming, and they didn't want to hear it.
What didn't they want to hear?
That art and philosophy and political prowess wasn't gonna cut it. We can't go a single Asari lifetime without some big war breaking out.
I mean, you all lived to be 1,000 years old. How could you expect a war to not break out at some point?
Atheta is speaking facts, but unfortunately, this isn't something the Asari are going to understand. Their insanely long lifespans keep them from feeling the tension of growing conflict in the galaxy.
Thanks for telling me about that.
It's why they always throw other species like the humans and Turians at a problem.
Just looking around.
Right. Don't eat the nuts in the red bowls. They're for Turians and Quarians. You'll get cramps.
Serena?
Sweet time to finally recruit my boy Thane.
Liara Tassoni said you might have information on Thane Krios.
I was hoping we could just forget about the Frogman, but I guess I can't dream.
All right. I forgot you don't like Thane either.
Isn't it because Melania likes him or something? We haven't talked about this in a while.
Good, let's keep it that way. I don't want to talk about it.
Don't worry. As far as I can tell, none of our wives are really watching these videos.
Just tell me what you know about him.
I ran security for Nasana Dantius. Then I found out she was having people killed to cover up her dirty secrets.
Well, we're familiar with that ourselves. Nasana had us kill her sister.
I might have been good enough to stop Thane from taking her down.
Serena, I don't know who the hell you think you are,
just tell me where
but you were definitely not stopping Thane from killing Nasana.
I gotta respect the energy she's putting out, though. You gotta be a real smoke demon to have that much confidence in yourself.
Do all of our missions on this planet take place during sunset?
The sun's appearance has to do with the fact that most of the buildings in this part of Ilium are skyscrapers.
There's a second tower.
The planet is a blistering 65 degrees Celsius. Convert it yourselves, so the only ground level settlements are at the polar latitudes.
So you're telling me the solution to global warming is to build taller skyscrapers? Got it.
I suppose that is one way we could deal with things.
Good, now I can make sure my next Trump tower is insanely tall for no reason.
You know, they say people who make giant things are compensating for something.
I don't know who they is, but they sound like they're full of shit.
Shift workers clear out of Tower 2.
Goddamn, they got this mission loading up like it's a movie.
Why does the Frogs recruitment mission seem like it got mad budget and development time?
Dossier the Assassin was featured at 2009's E3 as a demo for Mass Effect 2, which explains why it seems like it's done so well.
Damn man, I miss E3. These Nintendo Directs and State of Plays just don't scratch that itch.
Looking back on it, it's kind of crazy how prominent Thane was in the lead up to Mass Effect 2's release and how little screen time he has compared to the other squad mates.
There they are.
Thane, along with Miranda, were basically the poster characters for all the promotional art, demo footage, and he was in multiple trailers.
I can understand why BioWare were in their bag when they designed the drill, and I'm sure they'd want to show that off. Too bad they sentenced Thane to die immediately after we meet him.
You know, there were talks about Thane surviving an early writing of Mass Effect 3, but BioWare unfortunately wrote themselves into a corner when introducing the Drell in Mass Effect 2. Keprel syndrome is explained to be basically incurable in the Codex, as it's totally resistant to antibiotics and other treatments like organ transplants. The only way they could have gotten around Thane living was with a hasty retcon, or by justifying it using Reaper technology.
Thank God they gave that up. Don't need him around.
You mean to tell me we were robbed of having Thane with us for longer?
In some ways, it was probably a good decision. Another reminder of how the Reaper War can take anyone, no matter how good Shepard is.
Yeah, except the Frog didn't lose to a Reaper, he lost to Kai goddamn Lang.
Well, losing to Kai Lang isn't half as embarrassing as getting killed by a Loki mech. I know these Solarians are unarmed, but come on.
If Loki mechs and some dogs are all Nasana has for her first line of defense, then it's no wonder Frog Boy manages to get her.
Since Thane was a new alien species brought to the universe, there isn't any alternative cut character to him. So rather than that, I can mention how Thane was yet another buy option for Commander Shepard, as indicated by some unused in-game audio.
Damn, had Mass Effect come about a decade later, we could have been f***ing everyone like we can in Baldur's Gate 3.
Gonna need BioWare to take notes from Larian Studios for the next Mass Effect in that regard.
You know, they showed off gameplay of the new Dragon Age, now known as Veilguard. Perhaps we'll see some wider romances there.
I'm not even gonna hold you, that gameplay looked kinda mid.
I'm sure Bernie is upset it's another action RPG and not the old Dragon Age Origins gameplay.
Well, I'm sure you folks know how it goes, low expectations, and maybe it won't hurt so bad.
Yeah, except if Dragon Age gets clapped, that means no more Mass Effect.
To be honest, if Dragon Age bombs, I think we'll all be better off without seeing Mass Effect 5.
This conversation is deeply f***ing depressing.
You're right, Joe. In better news, Shadow of the Erd Tree is coming out real soon.
Now you're talking my language, Miyazaki, really dropping Elden Ring 2 on us.
Am I going to be able to play it if I beat Radon?
Have you beaten Mog?
Who's that?
Why don't you focus on beating the game once before touching the DLC, Joe?
My chest is killing me.
Who attacked you?
We're just night workers.
Night shift is hard enough without getting gunned down by mechs.
She sent the mechs to round us up, but we didn't hear.
How the hell do you not hear those loud-ass mechs clanging their feet on the floor?
They just attacked you?
Yes. They were too slow. It was horrible.
Nah, these guys sorry as hell. How are you too slow? The Loki mechs can barely walk.
That lack of sympathy is something I would have expected from Donald. What's come over you, Joe?
Sorry, I'm starting to lose my temperament. We've been filming this one forever.
Wait, they do canonically call those mechs dogs.
Here. That should ease the pain.
Barack, what the hell are you doing?
People who work graveyard are already dead on the inside. No need for them to die on the outside, too.
Take your time.
What are the odds that elevator's gonna be empty when it gets here?
2 out of 10, probably.
If Nasana were smart, she'd have stuck a bomb in the elevator.
Cracking out the big guns.
You'll see why in a second.
Oh, cool, it's a Krogan.
So I see our business here on Ilium is just cutting down the Eclipse mercenary organization.
Well, to be fair, Samara did do her fair share of clapping the Eclipse before we got here. Though I guess you can say the same of Garrus before we got to Omega.
The Council was so terrified of sending the Normandy into the Terminus system last game, but here we are. Shepard and a few of his friends clearing every major fighting force.
Why the hell is the Master Thief over there standing out in the open and getting lit up?
I think she heard you because she slid right back down to ground level.
Being lit on fire has a real good humbling effect on you.
Oh hell yeah, easily the best renegade moment of all time is coming. You better not disappoint me.
All the ways you can deal with this guy are pretty cold. I wonder which one I should pick.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not like we need this guy's information or anything. Let gravity do what it does best.
That's my boy, Joe. We should deprive you of sleep more often.
I wouldn't be wasting my time talking to you. You're not one of Nasana's mercs. Who are you?
A whole lot of yapping for a guy who's about to get Lion King'd.
Or coach. Your choice.
Look, pal. Even if I knew where he was, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, you're done, bro.
Not the answer I was looking for.
Bro really decided defending Nasana was more important than his life.
Man, someone is about to have a bad day when that guy lands on them or on their sky car.
How about goodbye?
So what have we learned here?
That pushing people off the upper levels of skyscrapers is really fucking funny.
Remind me not to visit Trump Tower.
The lesson is that if a scary guy with red skin is you up against a window, you better just tell him what he wants or you're going to end up a stain on someone's windshield or on the sidewalk.
Great answer, Joe. Also, if that merc plummeted all the way to the surface of Ilium, he's probably getting grilled by the sun.
Great, we can go scrape him up and serve him to Grunt for lunch.
Jesus Christ, Donald.
Are you guys all right in here?
Get back!
You better put that pea shooter away, son.
That's really not a good idea.
I don't want to hurt you, but I will.
Well, what happened to your sympathy to night shift workers, Barack?
My sympathy only goes as far as them not pointing a gun in my face.
Hold on now. Why are we drawing on the other Salarians?
This is kind of crazy. We're basically walking into an active shooter event and drawing guns on the victims.
Are you the ones who shot the merc?
No, but I wish we had, since we apparently can't shoot anything else in this room.
But I can't take credit for him.
Then who did?
So doesn't this imply that Thane was ahead of us? How did we beat him to Nasana?
Thane was going through the air vents, a much more roundabout path than the straight-shot Shepherd takes across the bridge.
Talon picked up the merc's gun, but we were too afraid to leave.
All right, one last push to our reunion with Nasana.
What the f***?
The hell are you two doing back there?
I'm just going to ignore whatever Samara and Kasumi were up to and move on.
I'm afraid your men aren't able to respond, Nasana.
You know she had to shit herself when she heard Shepard's voice.
If he's already past us, how do we catch up?
I don't know, man. He's an assassin. He's a master of stealth.
Finally, something know-it-all Obama can't explain.
Well, if Thane is ahead of us, it would have been nice of him to kill some of these guys.
Thane is busy trying to win the race to Nasana. He's worried we're going to take the target out first. Oh, God damn it.
And that's the third death of the episode, and I'm back in the lead, baby.
What the hell happened there, Barry?
That stupid fucking Eclipse Vanguard sent out his warp blast exactly after my tech armor broke and stopped me from going into cover. I swear to God, the AI in this game is smarter than we give it credit for.
Sounds like excuses to me. You're starting to push double-digit deaths, Barack.
I'm about to push you down a flight of stairs.
Jesus Christ, I thought we were done with the loudspeakers when we killed Jedor.
Nasana is doing a whole lot of yapping when she should be thinking of an escape route. She really boxed herself in.
Literally just an emergency sky car at her penthouse window could have made everything we're doing right now pointless.
Actually, doesn't Ilium have law enforcement? Why isn't anyone coming to save Nasana?
I mean, Nasana Dantius isn't exactly a well-liked individual. After all, she kills anyone who threatens her reputation, fired Serena for figuring it out, and just started having all of her night workers killed. I wouldn't be surprised if the police on Ilium don't like her either.
Plus, she literally used Shepard to do her dirty work and kill her sister. Sure, she paid us for it, but still. I got too much self-respect to be used like a pawn.
I'm sure absolutely no one spared any tears for Nasana. Hello, Nasana. Long time no see.
But you're dead.
The tales of our death was greatly exaggerated.
Now you're here.
We just cleared like 100 guys, and she thinks these three are enough to protect her.
I just missed you.
Screw you, Shepard.
Charming as ever.
I do enjoy getting to give Nasana the run around here and pretending as if we're the ones here to kill her.
Best believe if we actually wanted Nasana dead, she'd have a hole in her head already. The fact that she's still cognizant is proof within itself that we're not the assassin.
You really think I'm here to kill you?
Do you have another reason for destroying my tower?
Entertainment, we were kind of bored.
I'm just looking for someone.
You expect me to believe that? Is it credits? Is that what you want?
Whoa, hold on. Now she's talking my language.
Shh, we're not the assassin, but I'm never turning down a free bag.
Double whatever you're getting.
I don't think we're going to be getting those credits.
What?
I heard something.
Damn it. Check the other entrances.
With the big-ass windows Nasana has in her office, I'm not even sure Frog Boy needed to do all this. He could have just sniped her.
Thane, I love you, man, but couldn't you have waited like 5 more minutes for the credits to transfer? We were about to make bank.
She went out like she kind of liked that.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did. Melania is always going on about how she wishes she was Nasana in this situation.
Your wife wishes she got shot in the stomach and then embraced by Thane in her final moments?
You heard Donald going on about how he wished Samara stepped on his neck like that Eclipse trooper from earlier. He and Melania are the perfect couple in this regard.
Can someone tell the master thief over there to put the damn gun down?
I came a long way to talk to you.
One moment. Prayers for the wicked must not be forsaken.
All right, I'm starting to see why they built this mission for the E3 demo. This atmosphere is crazy.
Thane's aura and his introduction is the best we've seen.
Too bad he goes through a massive aura reduction from this point forward.
The measure of an individual can be difficult to discern by actions alone. Take you, for instance. All this destruction, chaos.
Par for the course when it comes to Shepard, to be honest. Just be glad we didn't set off a nuke this time.
Go to find me. Well, here I am.
Got this motherfucker looking majestic and shit.
I do want to talk to you, but how did you know I was here?
gunfire and explosions.
Our bad, I have no idea what Kasumi and Samara were up to with that random explosion earlier.
Okay, even I have to ask, is Kasumi stuck in time or something? Lower the weapon before Thane snaps your neck.
Your distraction eventually proved valuable.
Let's cut to the chase. I need you for a mission.
Indeed.
You're familiar with the Collectors?
By reputation.
For being an enigmatic race, sure seems like a lot of people in the Terminus system are familiar with the Collectors.
Well, the Collectors tend to deal with people throughout the Terminus where things are lawless.
I see.
We're going after them.
Attacking the Collectors would require passing through the Omega-4 relay. No ship has ever returned from doing so.
No one has ever killed a Reaper either,
They tell
but we
me
did
it's a
that.
suicide mission. I intend to prove them wrong.
Goddamn, turn the fucking sun down.
Yes. A suicide mission will do nicely.
In any other circumstance, that sentence would be a red flag.
I'm dying.
Seriously, man, my eyes are starting to burn.
And to think the elusive man looks at a star like this from close up.
Thane just announced he was dying, you know.
Yes, and the hundreds of people waiting for an attractive male alien squad mate cried out, sucks to be them.
Assassin in the mouth, but why are human colonists a concern to you?
They're innocent, yes? Like all victims of the Collectors.
I've heard impressive stories, Krios. Sounds like you'll be an asset to the team. That is, if you're comfortable having an assassin.
Oh boy, here we fucking go.
Definitely more comfortable having Thane watch my back than you, Jacob.
Uh-huh. Don't know about you, but I'm loyal to more than my next paycheck.
Buddy, you literally work for a terrorist organization that you openly admitted has a checkered past. I'm not trying to hear it from you.
What's your concern?
I don't like mercenaries. An assassin is just a precise mercenary.
We have multiple trained killers on this ship right now. And you're raising a fuss about Thane?
I don't even like the frog that much, and even I'm on his side here.
Jacob sucks. What else is new?
The area near the life support plant on the crew deck tends to be slightly more arid than the rest of the ship.
Ah, an AI. My thanks.
All right, that concludes today's journey. Next time, we begin loyalty missions, and Joe will get to take on the Collector vessel.
Oh, God, have mercy on my soul.
Go ahead and have a guess at how many times Joe is going to die next episode.
Stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next one.